The movie starts where we see some candidates are preparing for the exam. This exam is the final round for a company in which 8 candidates are participating. They all come inside a room which does not have any windows. It has 2 rows of desks. They take their seats and see there is a paper in front of them with candidate numbers written in front of them. The security guard enters the room and has a gun with him. The exam invigilator enters the room and tells everyone the rules of the exam. He says that this is the final exam of the interview process. He says inside the room there will be no laws other than what the company permits. The candidates cannot try to communicate with the invigilator nor the guard. They cannot spoil the paper, and they cannot leave the room for any reason. If they break any of the rules, they will be disqualified. The test consists of only one question with only one answer. He asked the candidates whether they have any questions and tells them, but they have 80 minutes to solve exam and sets the timer. He says that by solving the exam they can set the next 80 years of their life and leaves from there. The candidates then turn the paper and start looking for the questions. They seem confused when they find that the paper is blank and does not have any questions in it. One of the candidates decides to start writing on the paper. The camera in the room notices this, and the guard takes the candidate out of the room and disqualifies her. She has broken the rule of spoiling her paper, and the other candidates get shocked on seeing this. One of the candidates realizes that according to the rules they can still talk to each other except the invigilator and the guard. He asks the other candidate whether they have figured out the answer. The other candidate says that the answer is not important, but finding the question is. This will solve this exam. They see the timer is running out, and one of the candidates says that they need to work together to find the question. The other candidate asks why they should work together since they are all in a competition. The first candidate says that they need to work together to at least find the question, and the question will not be easy to find. The first candidate says that they need to use nickname to call each other. Based on physical appearance, he gives out nicknames like black, brown, white, blonde, brunette, and dark, and the one candidate who is quiet, he names him deaf.
You're black. I'm white. You're brown. We've got blonde hair, brunette there, dark, I suppose. And then last as well as least, we've got deaf.
He checks and see whether he can stand and roam around the room, and the guard does not react. The brunette candidate says that the question may be hidden on the paper, but they can't see it yet. They need to use the lighting surrounding the room so that it can reveal the question. They see that some of the lights are halogen lights and some are not. They decide to check the paper under the light, and brunette candidate finds nothing on the paper. The white candidate feels that it won't be so easy to find the question. Blonde candidate says maybe they need to use the pencil and trace the paper. Black candidate warns her, saying this would spoil her paper and would lead to elimination. The brown candidate feels that maybe each of the papers have 8 different questions, and there are 8 different ways to find them. The brunette candidate feels that they should not waste time and ask everyone to check their paper under the light. When everyone checks their paper, they also don't find anything on it. The white candidate also checks the deaf candidate's paper and finds nothing on it. The black candidate says, but there are other lights in the world like X-ray, ultraviolet, and infrared lights which are not visible to the eye. They need to find these lights in the room. The blonde candidate sees that there are some lights in between the walls and they need to find a way to trigger them. They come to know that this is the emergency lighting, so they decide to smash all the lights. After smashing lights, the emergency blue light activates in the room. They check the paper in the light but are unable to still see the question. The dark candidate sees that there is some more light behind the emergency light. She tells everyone that they should break this light too. After breaking the emergency light, a yellow-colored light becomes active in the room. They try to see the question in this new light, but are still unable to see anything on it. Now they have only 60 minutes remaining. The white candidate suddenly remembers something. He tells everyone that according to the rules they cannot spoil their own sheet, but still can use others' sheet, so he takes the paper of the eliminated contestant. As an experiment, he tries to do tracing on the paper, but finds nothing hidden. He tears the paper into multiple parts and asks other candidates to make it wet to see if anything becomes visible on it due to liquid. The white candidate pees on his paper to see if anything is revealed, but nothing is shown. The deaf candidate suddenly starts crying and speaking in French. He says the words "can you see it in there" repeatedly. The white candidate gets angry on him and says he's talking rubbish and they should not pay any attention to him. The brown candidate feels that the company has purposefully selected 4 women and 4 men from different cultures and are playing games with them. He believes that the entire test is a game designed by the board of the company who enjoy watching these people participate in their exam. He says money is no longer a motivation for these guys and can even bet on his analysis. The dark candidate tells everyone that the brown candidate is a gambler in real life based on his behavior. The brown candidate also tells everyone that based on his analysis he feels that the dark candidate is a psychoanalyst who studies other people. She tells everyone that the CEO of the company is a very hands-on guy and he likes to conduct these interviews in such a manner. He personally micromanages all things and personally chooses his own team. The brown candidate asks her how does she know all this information about the company. She tells them that she came to know when she heard that there was a job vacancy in the company and applied. She tells that she did her research before applying and asks other why didn't they do so. The other candidates, white, brown and blonde, tell her that they were approached for the job by the HR team of the company. The candidates named black, dark and brunette applied for the jobs after hearing about the vacancy. The brown candidate feels that the others have an advantage since they know more about the company and the job. He asks them to tell everyone about what information they have about the company. She tells everyone that this company's name is Biorg and it is one of the largest companies in the world that manufactures medicines. They have developed a medicine which cures the disease which has spread in their world, and the company's is worth more than $60 billion. They work in the field of enhancing the life of humans and are now working on a new medicine, so they are expanding their team. The brunette candidate tells everyone that her partner is infected and she needs this job so that she can get medicines at employees' discount rate. The dark candidate tells everyone the CEO does not like to make public appearances, and this is the only way he would choose the candidate. The brunette candidate goes to the guard and searches his pocket to find a lighter in it. She suggests that they should use the lighter to activate the sprinkler in the room. The black candidate says that maybe the paper is a photographic paper and there must be some developing liquid in the sprinklers which can reveal the question. Everyone agrees to this. The deaf candidate suddenly gets up and goes towards the timer to see it closely. The brunette candidate stands on the table and lights the lighter to reach the sprinkler, but is unable to activate it. The white candidate then takes her paper and folds it and gives it to her and hides the other paper in his jacket. She then lights the paper on fire and activates the sprinkler. The other candidates check their paper under the sprinkler but find nothing on it. The black candidate checks the liquid and finds it to be plain water. The brunette candidate realizes her paper is missing and comes to know she has burned her own paper and gets angry on white candidate for fooling her. The guard comes and takes her out and eliminates her. The black candidate gets angry on him and tells him that he will punch his lights out. Suddenly the room's light deactivates and they come to know the room is controlled by voice where they can turn on and off the lights through their voice. Suddenly the deaf candidate starts crying and the white candidate tells him that he should tear his paper and leave the competition since he is not worth it. He bullies him to tear his paper and the guard eliminates him. The black candidate tells him that he's playing dirty tricks to win the competition and they cannot trust him going forward. The white candidate tells everyone that he does not need anyone's help since he has already figured out the question. The dark candidate tells everyone the white candidate is a narcissist and he will do everything for his own advantage. Black candidate gets angry on him and punches him. The white candidate gets unconscious and the black candidate tells everyone that it was necessary since he was being a distraction to the group. He lifts the white candidate and ties him in a chair with the help of his necktie. The dark candidate suggests that they should eliminate him by taking him out of the room. The blonde candidate suggests that since he's not choosing to leave the room himself, they also could be eliminated if they forcefully push him out. Suddenly the white candidate wakes up and tells everyone that he needs to take his medicine. He says that he needs to take it every hour, and the black candidate realizes that the white candidate is infected with the virus. The white candidate tells him to check his pocket for medicine. The black candidate agrees that after taking the medicine, he needs to tell them the question. He tries to find the medicine, but is unable to do so. The white candidate feels that one of them has taken his medicine. He tells that if he does not take his medicine on time, he will start getting fits. The other candidate believes he is lying to get free, and the white candidate gets unconscious. The dark candidate feels that he is acting and is working with the company as an insider to give them more information about the candidates. The brown candidate feels that the white candidate is not smart enough to be an insider, but believes that the dark candidate herself is an insider. He tells everyone that she is blaming others so no one feels that she herself is an insider. He feels that she knows too much about the company and the job. When the dark candidate is trying to convince others, the brown candidate takes this opportunity and ties her to the chair. He tells her to tell the truth if she wants to be free. She tells everyone that she works for a different department in this company and applied for this position when she came to know about it. She knows nothing more about it, but brown candidate does not believe her. He brings a piece of paper and tells her that he will use paper cuts to torture her. Other candidates object to this, but he tells everyone he was a soldier before and have used this technique to find the truth. When he's about to torture her, he sees that she already has scars on her thighs. He uses paper on her thighs and cuts her. When black candidate comes to stop him, he punches him. The brown candidate tells her that next he used the paper on her eyes. When he is about to use the paper, the dark candidate starts crying and tells him she knows nothing. The brown candidate believes her this time since she was suffered enough torture to tell any lies. The blonde candidate free her. Suddenly they see the white candidate is getting fits. The black candidate tells everyone that the white candidate is not acting and he's really sick. They decide to search everyone for the pill since they can't find it but don't find anything. The dark candidate decides to search brown candidate's desk and finds the pill under the desk attached with the gum. She tells everyone that the brown candidate took the medicine so the white candidate would die and be eliminated. When they're about to give the medicine to white candidate, the brown candidate stops them and throws the pill in the gutter. The white candidate's health worsens and he starts bleeding from the nose. The dark candidate talks to the camera and asks for their help. The guard takes her out of the room and eliminates her for breaking the rule. The blonde candidate uses her hairpin to take the medicine out and give it to white candidate. The white candidate gains consciousness and realizes only 4 people remain and 10 minutes are left. The brown candidate asks him to tell everyone about the question he knows. The white candidate tells everyone that the test itself is a question and only the last surviving candidate would be the answer. He tries to go to the guard to take his gun, but black candidate reaches it before and takes the gun. The black candidate says that he feels that there are many job vacancies in this place since no one said that only one job is available. When the white candidate comes to take the gun, he shoots the gun, but nothing happens. The white candidate attacks the black candidate and injures him with a pencil. He takes the gun and realizes it can be operated only with guard's fingerprint. He tells everyone that he will shoot them if they don't listen to him and walk out of the room. The brown candidate decides to leave the room and gets eliminated. When it is black candidate's turn to leave the room, he refuses to do so. The blonde candidate says that she will leave the room. When she's about to leave the room, she deactivates the light by her voice. The white candidate shoots in the dark, and when the light comes back on, he comes to know he has shot the black candidate in the chest. He sees that the blonde candidate has kept one of her legs in the room and is not eliminated. He sees that the timer has reached 0, so he walks to the camera, says that he has won the competition. The blonde candidate sees the spectacles of the deaf candidate on the floor and realizes something. The guard comes to white candidate and informs him that he has been eliminated since there is some time left in the exam. The white candidate checks his watch and comes to know that the deaf candidate had manipulated with a timer and changed its timing. He realizes that he broke the rule and is now eliminated. He tries to shoot himself, but nothing happens, and the invigilator turns the screen on. Blonde candidate picks up the spectacles and examines her question paper. She finds the word question 1 written in small print on the back of her paper. The deaf candidate enters the room, and we come to know that he's the CEO of the company. The question was asked by the invigilator at the start of the exam, which was, "Are there any questions?" To which the blonde candidate replies no. He informs her she has won the exam. They offer her a job. She says that she cannot accept the job since this has led to the black candidate dying. The invigilators ask her to check the black candidate. She approaches black and sees that the bullet wound is almost healed. The The invigilator says that they put the fast healing pill inside the bullet. They own the formula for the medicine which also healed White's illness, but it can only be manufactured in very small quantities. The new candidate needed to have sympathy alongside ambition and intelligence. Blonde accepts the job right away.